Alright guys, in today's video we're going over every single ultimate in the game. We're going over every single ultimate to see who has the best and who has the worst. And of course this is just based off of my opinion. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys do, please like and subscribe. First up is Saitama. His first move is Death Counter. Death Counter basically allows you to one-tap anybody in the game if they hit you, with a few exceptions. One of them being Garou's The Final Hunt.
Oh my neck!
And Metalbat's Death Blow. Next up is Table Flip. Table Flip is a basically cone AoE that just sends everybody flying up in the air. From about mid-range, it'll fully kill anybody. And if they're a little bit far, it'll still do a bunch of damage to them. If you want to do this in PvP, make sure to stun lock them so they can't get out. Next up is Serious Punch. Serious Punch has the same thing. It kind of has a... Holy crap. Serious Punch has the same thing. It's a cone AoE. You throw a giant punch and it sends everybody flying. Now it only does half damage to people if they're not stun locked. This move isn't the best if you're doing it in a 1v1 scenario, mainly because it takes some time to start up compared to all the others. But if you want to use it in a 1v1 scenario, make sure to stun lock them. Now Omnidirectional Punch is the last move, and it's the Rage Quit button. Basically, if you use this against somebody in a 1v1 scenario, they're gonna guaranteed leave. All of Saitama's moves are very good. Even if you use Death Counter and they don't hit you, you have guaranteed access to hitting combos with them because they're just going to be running away from you, not hitting you. All of Saitama's moves are fantastic in a 1v1 scenario, which is basically what this game is built on. That's why I'm giving Saitama's ultimate an S tier. Next up is Garou's. Whenever going into Garou's ult, he slams into the ground and does damage to nearby enemies. Weird ass lag. His first move is Water Stream Rock Smashing. I know, what a name. You basically punch the living hell out of him and smack him. It has fantastic combo. Oh my god! It's fantastic combo potential and can literally one-tap somebody if you have the Final Hunt. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Up next is the Final Hunt. The Final Hunt is a very good move. You can see I'm on Genos because it can go through Incinerate. If the character is usually invincible, during their animation, you can still just kick them out. It doesn't matter. Basically, use this move if the enemy is invincible during an attack, or if they use Death Counter or Death Blow. Next up is Rock Splitting Fist. Rock Splitting Fist is a really good move for combos. You can do Water Stream into it, boom, and then do Crushed Rock. And I mean, their health is basically gone. They're basically almost dead. The move does good damage and overall has good combo potential. Next up is Crushed Rock. Crushed Rock does really good damage and has really good combo potential. It could combo into anything else. You do travel a pretty far distance, so try to remember that and use that to your advantage. Now, so far, you might be like, well, oh my god, he has really good combo potential and everything is really good. There's a few drawbacks. If you don't hit the person with any of his moves, it's cancelable. But as long as you land a hit, you're fully invincible. And every single one of his moves is parryable, except the Final Hunt. So if he lands a move, he's fully invincible during that time period, but if he doesn't, he's just mad vulnerable. But there's a plus. If he kills anybody with any of his moves, he gets some health back. And if you kill them with the Final Hunt, he gets 50% health back. Overall, Garou has some pros and cons. He's not broken, but he's also not horrible, so I put him in A tier. Now we're on to Genos. Whenever you ult with Genos, it does do some damage. It's not too much, but yeah. First move is Thunder Kick, and there's two variants. First variant, you land a kick, flap in the air, and do a little bit extra damage. The second variant is if you miss the kick, it's big AoE damage. Next move is Speed Blitz Drop Kick, and you fly towards them with massive range and just do 50% damage. This thing has a bunch of range, you go very far with it, so use that to your advantage. Speed Blitz is like the Final Hunt. It goes through Death Counter and goes through Death Blow. And it can be comboed with Flame Wave Cannon. Okay, well, alright, ignore that. What the f- Alright, next up is Flame Wave Cannon. You shoot a giant beam of fire towards them, doing around 30% damage. Flame Wave Cannon is cancelable if you miss them. Alright, now the most abused ultimate in the game. Incinerate. I mean, you just fire a giant beam of fire at them, doing a bunch of damage. The closer they are, the more damage it does. It is cancelable by the final hunt. Metal Bat's Death Blow, which a lot of people don't know about. And probably some others I don't know about. Leave it in the comments. I'm kind of slow. One last thing I forgot to mention about Genos. Whenever you kill somebody with a move, you get all your cooldowns back. Meaning you can just spam all of his abilities at once if you wanted to. So you can just continue to combo other people more and more and more. That's why you always see high killed players using Genos. Overall, I give Genos his ult an A tier. Next up is the most hated character in the game, Sonic. Whenever you start his ultimate, you do a little dash forward thingy and it does a bunch of damage to people all in that radius. First move is Twin Blade Rush and you run pretty far. Like a pretty good distance. Like that's pretty good distance. Another thing too is that you just kind of have anime dashes and you could keep spamming them. I think you have like 13 and then it resets on kill. Anyways, you just rush towards somebody. You're fully invincible during this unless you get hit with an ultimate like table flip, the final hunt, etc, etc. Next is Straight On. I mean, the range that this thing has is insane. You can literally just fly across the map and then you just slash them. But you could just click it again to do it whenever you want, and it does pretty good damage, around 30-25%. Only real way you're gonna get canceled is by a projectile, so just watch out for other Sonics or Genoses. Next up is Carnage, and you fly in the air and throw a bunch of explosive ninja stars everywhere. It does okay damage, but it does get a good range, so it's okay. The last move is Fourfold Flash Strike. I know, what a name. You basically are invincible during this, unless you miss. If you miss the player you're trying to hit, yo, what the f? If you miss the player that you're trying to hit, then you will be able to get hit. You're not invincible. But if you hit the player, then you're fully invincible. Sonic's ult gets a bad rap, mainly because it's just a bunch of kids just spamming dodge and then chasing after you like that. Just don't be spamming dash like a nerd and you won't be bullied, I promise. Overall, his ultimate's actually pretty good, and I'm gonna give this another A tier. Next up is my personal favorite, Metal Bat. Metal Bat goes bonk, 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 and then you're in his ult. It does a little bit of damage and it ragdolls people, so yeah, it's pretty good. Jesus, where do I even start? The first move is Savage Tornado. You wind up and you fly everywhere, picking everybody up in the radius. And then they fly and bonk themselves on the head. Now, during the few seconds that you're winding up, you are able to get hit, but people are usually too scared to even run up to you and try to attack you. When you land this move, you can combo it with either Brutal Beatdown or Strength Difference. It can be a little annoying to hit, but once you hit it, then you hit it, and you basically shred all of their health. Next up is Brutal Beatdown. You charge up this little attack, and you start just swinging, and the range that you have on this thing is insane. And you just fly around, fling them up, jump on them, boom. A good 40% damage. Next up is Strength Difference. This move does a lot of damage if you land it. Oh, okay, he just plopped. In total, it does about 65% damage. You can block it, but you will still take 43% damage. So honestly, it's just worth trying to dodge it. The times you want to use Strength Difference is either after Savage Tornado or after you do a down slam on him. I can't believe I just Alright, and now where Metal Bat shines, his Death Blow. Metal Bat's Death Blow will go through Death Counter, and it will stop the Incinerate from Genos. A lot of things people don't utilize is that if you use Savage Tornado, you can cancel it into Death Blow. And it's the same thing with Brutal Beatdown. You could just bait it, and then just boom. So if the player you're versing is good, and you want to bait them, just pretend like you're charging it up, and boom. Metal Bat does a ton of AoE damage, being able to get multiple players in at once, doing massive damage. And he has a death counter, which can basically death counter almost anything in the game. Overall, Metal Bat's getting an S tier for me. Next up is Blade Master. Blade Master's ultimate takes some time to charge up, but it has a massive AoE, doing a bunch of damage and sending people flying. His first move is Sunset. Sunset can be cancelled if you don't hit him. It can be cancelled, like literally just like that, pretty easy. But if you hit him, it does a bunch of damage and it has big AoE. But it's very easy to be death countered by using that move. Next up is Solar Cleave. Solar Cleave, you have massive range doing a bunch of damage, and it goes through death counter, and it goes through death blow. Okay, I guess it doesn't go through Death Blow. I don't know, man. Next up is Sunrise. It can be hard to hit, but when you do, it has a good animation, and it does a bunch of damage. Sunrise can be annoying to hit, but it's a lot easier if you combo it with Solar Cleave. Now, Atomic Slash is almost a one-shot. It does 80% damage, but you don't want to just go spamming this move. You want to make sure that they're stun locked first, and then you do the move. The thing is, Blade Master's moves are all good, but you can't really combo with any of them. You can only combo with 2 moves, and that's Solar Cleave and Sunrise. On top of that, basically everything is death counterable except Solar Cleave. Overall, his ultimate is okay, but a bonus is that whenever he goes into his ult, the radius is huge and does a decent amount of damage. I do feel like he's borderline A, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. Next up is Wild Psychic. She only does have 1 move at the time of making this video, but so far it looks like she's gonna have a really good moveset. To start, she has a really good animation, and it catches people in it, doing a bunch of damage in the process. Her first move is Cosmic Strike. You do want to stun lock them for this, and once you get them in it, they can't move, and you literally summon a meteor from... I just had a stroke. You summon a meteor from space, and it does, I think, about 65% damage to them. It is only 1 move, but by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be very broken. So I'm just going to put it in the I don't know tier. Alright guys, this is the tier list. Now, before you guys just go raging in the comments, flaming me, to be honest, it really doesn't matter. It's my opinion. You guys are entitled to your own opinions, and let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good day. Peace.